There's Eric. Hey, my name is Phil the Cruz. Welcome to Cruising with Phil. Today I have a special guest. I know this guy since 1985, a fellow veteran, fellow soldier, also a active service of the police force. And what's your rank now, Mike?
Staff Sergeant.
Okay, hey, Mike Hunter, my friend Mike Hunter. Hey, how you doing, Mike?
Good. How are you?
Good. So tell the people who you are and what you're all about.
Like I say, I'm a staff sergeant with the North Bay City Police. Currently, right now, I'm a seconded officer to the Ontario Police College. I have been for roughly the past almost 3 years,
Oh,
and I'm teaching our basic recruit program in the officer safety program.
nice. Wow. So I know. Let's say how we met back in '85, right? Back in the reserves.
Yes, we were a
Yeah,
couple of
that was
young lads. That's
couple
right.
young. I was like what 17, 8, 19. You got there
Yeah,
before I did, right? It was at just at Wainwright, Alberta. If you want to know,
yeah.
called RV 85, which is
RV
actually
85. Yeah,
Rendezvous 85. It's a reserve tactical unit. And you came from North Bay. I came from Toronto with my buddy Steve there. And I went there. Then I got to Suffield for about a week. Then I put you back in Wainwright. And you were where you were the MSA Depot, whatever.
yeah. Well, we were with the transport, so the service, and then so went to Wainwright prior to my college. So I went there to make some money, get some experience. Did
Okay.
that for the 6 months or whatever, and then came back to Ontario. Went to Fanshawe College.
You were there for 6 months, eh? Oh, that's not bad. Wow. I
Yeah,
was there for 3 months. Yeah. So
yeah,
we met on shift there. You were leaving shift, and I was taking over your shift, and I remember I was bored. I was writing short stories,
yeah,
and you had to start reading them, and they got picked up by some of the other people on the base there.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's if you understand when you're isolated, anything that's readable, it's enjoyable, right? So
That's right.
it's really funny. Just now I was watching a MASH episode, but the episode where they got a book, DJ got a book in the mail, and like
Yeah,
everybody's like, it was like that. I was just thinking about this
start
there.
passing it around. Yeah,
Yeah, that's how we met. So we made photocopies of my short story, and that's how then we got to know each other, and then we became friends. And I got to meet your family in North Bay, your mom and your dad and your
yeah,
two brothers, and now
yeah.
they're all. This is like years ago, right? Back in '85. And then you went to college, right? For what?
For policing,
Yeah.
and so I did that, and then got hired by Peel Region.
Okay, cool.
I worked with Peel for 3 years, and
Oh, really?
then
Yeah, yeah, I
went
remember.
back to North Bay. Got hired with North Bay, so I left Peel. Loved Peel; it was a fantastic service. I really enjoyed my time there. It was just more family and economics. Living
Yeah.
in the area, raising a family in the area was challenging. So went back home to North Bay and did my career in North Bay. So that was in 87 to 90. 90, I went back to North Bay and then stayed in North Bay after that.
How many years is that now?
Be 36 years this November.
Okay. Also, you also went away to Afghanistan, right?
Yep. So a couple of things. Yeah, I got involved with the international police operations through the RCMP and made a presentation to my Chief Cook at the time, and he was fantastic and was really energetic about it. So we did an MOU with the RCMP, and then I was seconded by them. Did got 3 4 weeks of training in Canadian Police College and the Kingston Military Base to prepare us. And they went to Afghanistan for a year. That was in 2011, seconded there, and then came back. So I was attached. So I was lucky in the sense that not only did I get seconded with the RCMP, then based on my resume and experience, the European Union selected several members out of our contingent, of which I was one, that got attached to the European Union to work with their contingent in Afghanistan. So I was working with, in my office, there was 8 different European officers from different countries, and my job was field implementation. So myself and my partner, Jan Helmdorf from Estonia, we had 10 PRTs that we looked after all across the country of Afghanistan.
Wow. It's quite the and so I ask you what's your first impression when I've been there myself. What's your first impression when you get there? Just the settling period and all.
Oh, at that time, like I
Yeah,
said, it's going back to 2011. So it was still a war zone then. Um, and it was like walking back in time.
yeah,
Like, you know, they had the big cities and stuff like that with a lot of amenities, but then, you know, it's like Toronto, but then you'd see somebody driving a horse and buggy taking their wares to market, right?
yeah,
Um, and then you'd see sports cars driving down the road.
yeah. That's funny.
So it was two ends of an extreme pole. Um, and for us, like you say, it was a war zone, so we had to be very cautious and relation to that. Um, where I was attached, we had a lot of freedom of movement, so we moved around Kabul quite a bit. I got to see quite a bit of that city, which was extremely interesting. And then we also got to travel to different provinces within Afghanistan, and it was everything from like you're up at Bamyan, where they've got the beautiful lakes and the mountains and all that, and then down to Kandahar, where it's desert, right, and
Yeah,
everything in the middle. And it was
yeah,
just amazing and really, really outstanding people. The culture, such a strong, strong ethnic culture. It's incredible. They've survived every invasion there's known to mankind
yeah.
and still not been conquered. So, talk about incredible stamina.
Quite a few got to know quite a few locals. You told me some stories about some of the locals you met there working with them.
Yeah, we had in our office, we had a local office manager, and he had quite a quite a life. His parents were dragged out of the house and killed, you know, basically in front of him. And he became a interpreter and an office manager. And I believe, you know, he has since left. And he was an educated man and is now, I believe, in the States with his family and that and living there. So I'm not sure where, but so he was able to actually leave and you know, get to safety because he would after it was all over, he would be very much in jeopardy being working with the European Union and being an interpreter and all the rest of it. So
It's
I'm
amazing.
glad he's safe.
Look at that. Touch on this part about you being away for a year. People don't realize that, especially not really for police, but army and like going overseas for so long, isolation periods. We have internet now, but back then when I was in, we had nothing like that. Like being locked up in a ditch in a field up outside of Bosnia for about 6 months, and now you have like you started seeing Sue right back then.
Yep. And
Yeah,
like I say, it used to be writing letters and
yeah,
then waiting for a letter to get back, as opposed to yeah, being able to FaceTime or that sort of thing. So yeah, definitely had that luxury, which made it much easier.
yeah, much easier. Yeah, yeah, but it takes its toll on all family. Even it's internet, it takes its toll on like people got to realize family stress, not just the case of you being there, but also like that missing aspect because you're a major part of your family, right? You're the older brother of
Well,
the two, you
yeah,
know?
and you know your family's worry about you.
Yeah,
You know, there's so much in the news, this place being bombed, that place being attacked, and then not knowing, it's like, well, is that where I am, or is it,
yeah.
you know,
Because like
I,
that's the
yeah,
first thing to think of. Like something happens over like overseas, like is Michael okay or whatever, you know? So
yeah,
it's nice to know. Yeah.
yeah, and like I said, we weren't fighting, we were
No.
delivering a police training package. So you compound that with the soldiers that were over there from all different nations and countries. You know, like very, very tough, very
I
tough.
was gonna ask you, why did you, out of the several people, you got picked for the European part? Why is that? How did you get picked
Um,
out of the bunch?
I don't know exactly why I was picked, but you know, they looked at all the resumes. There was about 30 of us that were in our roto, and we all submitted resumes, and then, so they would have gone through those resumes, and then they would have selected the people that can add to their program what they needed. Um,
Oh, you didn't see the
so
paper? You didn't see the paper why you got picked?
no, no, but I did have an interview
If hey
with
Mike,
the
if you
head of
want,
it
Mike,
and everything else.
if you want, I got a high security I got a high security clearance. If you want, I get access if you want.
No, I think it was probably a
I'm just kidding.
combination of things. Yeah, in
That's cool.
relation to my tactical experience, plus my administration leadership experience, and also my training. So it kind of checked mark a lot of boxes for them,
Hmm.
and I think that's probably why.
I've done my homework on you a little bit, buddy, and I know I'll give you a couple of comments here. You're sergeant, or anything. Uh, you're known for being calm and know how to handle a situation in any stress matter. That's one of your major attributes. You know how to handle a situation, given it anything that's sudden, and you know how to take it down, so to speak, right? You know, in a panic mode, or you got that kind of personality that you know you control, and people like that about you.
Yeah, I think I've had that said to me a lot of times. Even now with the teaching, a lot of the students have come up and said they've really enjoyed my method of teaching. And when we go through the practicals and stuff, and um, my connection with them, very calm and able to sort of tactfully train them into the officer safety aspect of things. Um, I think a lot of that comes from everything, right? From my military experience and my policing experience, and then moving into the tactical world, starting our TAC team, and then developing that program and running the team and managing the team and leading the team. It's always been one of those kind of things for me that if you're not in control of yourself, how are you going to control other people? Right?
That's true. Yeah.
So if you manage yourself first, then managing other people becomes much easier.
Nice. Did you apply for the to teach at college, or did they ask you what?
No, I applied and I asked. So um, I'm still attached to North Bay, and North
Yeah.
Bay still, so to speak, and I'm seconded to the Ontario Police College. So there's a number of seconded officers in all different disciplines, and and again, that was the same thing. So I applied to go. I submitted a resume, and then the chief instructor, who was Mr. Ridley at the time, he again interviewed me and asked me where I wanted to go within the college. So there's two sizes: there's use of force side, and then there's the APL side, which is the applied police learning, which is more the classroom stuff. And I've got both the criminal investigative side experience plus the tactical side. And I said, hey, I'm in your hands. Wherever you want me to go, I can do either or and enjoy both. And again, he said, well, based on your experience and everything else, he said, we'd like you to go over the use of force side. And he said, I'd like to place you in officer safety. So I'm like, perfect, works for me. And it's been fantastic.
Yeah, I was
The
gonna
people
ask
I
you.
work with there and my bosses there are
Yeah,
outstanding.
that's great. I was gonna ask you. Okay, what's the pick your brain here? First time you had your first graduating class that you train and you talk. How'd that feel when you see the results yourself?
Oh, it's a good feeling, especially with the number of recruits that we're putting through now, and coming up to 3 years, and we roughly run about 1,700 recruits a year.
what was your first course? How many kids per kids, young gentlemen?
Uh, we were about 475 in the first group that came through for me.
Wow.
That's in so going back to late 20, early 21.
So 475 out of the. So how many enrolled the first course, the first graduating class? How many finished and how many didn't finish?
It ranges, but generally speaking, there's anywhere from a 2 to maybe a 10% failure rate for a lot of variety of reasons. Sometimes the recruits get in trouble and do something that causes them to be removed from the program and removed from policing. Sometimes they won't pass, so they need remedial. So they'll go back, get some remedial training, then come back to the college to do it again.
That's good
Um, and sometimes there's ones that realize, you know what, this just isn't for
for
me.
them. Yeah.
I got into it and realized, yeah, no, it's not for my personality. I want to go do something else. So they leave voluntarily. So there, like you say, it's not a large dropout or failure rate, but I'd say anywhere from a 2 to maybe at the high a 10%.
I mean, you mentioned I won't say the names, but you mentioned one person came back 4 times, whatever, or tried it 4 times
To
back to the college.
pass,
Yeah.
um, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the 4 times. We've had recruits come back for certain things. Sometimes they got to come back and do some of the practical exercises. Some they have to come back and do the firearms, and sometimes it's written exams they have to redo. Um, and sometimes it's just a matter of the college is a very intense and a very short duration, so sometimes it's very overwhelming, and you don't get a lot of time. So you've got to catch it, the training right away and move on to the next thing, and catch that and move on to the next thing. Sometimes that's challenging for kids. And then they need to kind of slow it down and do it again and go through. So we've had ones that have gone through, I don't know about 4 times, but maybe twice. 3 times would be probably the extreme. And for certain reasons, sometimes kids get hurt too, right? They go through in the physical training, separate a shoulder, break a leg, break an arm. So boom, now they're out and they got to come back once they're healed up.
The kids that graduated come to work in North Bay with you?
Oh yeah, like we've been doing a lot of hiring in North Bay, as a lot of services have. So I've probably had close to 15 to 17 recruits from North Bay specifically. But I help liaison and manage a lot of the northern services between Sault Ste. Marie, Timmins, Sudbury, North Bay. So I'm kind of liaisoning with all of them. But it's fantastic. Like I say, 1,700 recruits a year. Chances of bumping into them again are really good. And it's nice seeing them and hearing their success stories and hearing their stories.
That's nice.
For
yeah, and they see you're the teacher there, and they say, it feels good for them too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So just to let people know, the college is in outside of London, right?
That's correct. It's in Elmer, Ontario.
And you live in North Bay, so you're there during the week, and every weekend you commute back and forth, right?
Yeah, try and make it back every weekend as much as I can.
Yeah.
Depending, especially going into winter, sometimes that's challenging, but traffic is a really huge challenge now. So much construction and everything else.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. How long does it take to get back and forth?
A good day, 5 hours.
5 hours. I go to Montreal, eh? Wow.
Yeah. A lot of times it's 6.
6? Wow.
Yeah.
But you get kind of used to it, right? in a certain way.
You know what? When I was younger, driving, oh man, I get tired so quickly. But now, as I've gotten older, it's that ability to unwind from the week and relax, and the driving doesn't bother me quite as much anymore.
Let's talk about your. I know you got a long list of volunteer with groups and organizations the last so many years. I'm not gonna list them all. You want to look on your. Is your site available to the public on LinkedIn?
Yeah, it's open.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to check out Mike Hunter's volunteer services, check out those big long list. Let's pick some of them. What are some of your favorites? I've seen them all.
You know what? The most rewarding thing for me is, again, back into sort of teaching mode. It was all the coaching that I did when I was a little bit younger, from soccer to hockey to high school sports and things like that. It's funny, even now, going through the mall, and some of the kids that I coached 10 years ago and stuff like that, they come up to me, they don't say, "Hi, Mike, how you doing?" They say, "Hey, coach, how's it going?"
Cool.
Right? That's 10, 15 years ago and longer. So I was involved in a lot of coaching, minor sports and things like that. And that part I really enjoyed. I was involved in a lot of things, from, the Cancer Society to the Ontario Police Memorials and Canadian Police Memorials.
Sorry to interrupt you. I forgot to mention, you're part of the color guard too, right?
Yeah, I was the color sergeant for our color party in North Bay, and really enjoyed that and do that a lot. I'm not as directly involved now because I'm tasked with the police college, and in the police college I'm involved with their drill and their inspections and stuff like that. So I help out on that end too.
Hey, did your did your mom ever tell you the funny story I asked her when I first met you guys back in North Bay? This is years ago.
Oh, probably, but
She may remember now. When I first came to see you guys, met your dad. Your dad's a very lean, skinny man, right? So then I met your two brothers, and they're also very skinny too, right? Right. So
yeah.
so I've seen you in the reserve, and you're already like an old muscle guy, right? I was a skinny guy. So I go up there and don't laugh. I go to your. I was kind of like surprised, like you're like. So I said to your mother, I said, "Are you guys having problems with finances or whatever?" She says, "No, why?" I said, "Well, it looks like Mike's got all the food. He's all muscle. Those two sons are all skinny, right?" I said, "Do you need some help or whatever?" She said, "No, no, no. He's just a big guy." Your mom's cool. Yeah, oh my God, it's so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. My two brothers are both taller. Rob, my middle brother, he's about 6'2", and Todd's probably closer to 6 foot, 6'1".
Oh my
So yeah,
God.
they got all the height, and I got all the
Yeah,
good looks.
yeah, yeah. And I have your grandfather too, right?
Me, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
My youngest son's got two young girls,
Oh, you got
Peyton.
another one. Oh,
Yeah, he's
cool.
got two and
Wow.
four. Yeah,
Wow. Wow. Have you seen them in yet? Did you go down in Edmonton, right?
yep. There, he's in Fort McMurray, out in Alberta. So I have been out there, um, but I don't get a chance to get out there as much as I can. So we're working on trying to get him out here for a visit, and we're going to go visit him as well.
Oh, that's nice. I like the T-shirt they got for the first granddaughter. Little, was it my grandfather's a cop or something? It was so cute.
Yeah, yeah. We
Cute.
got a few little things for them there.
So I was gonna ask you. Oh, you just came back from vacation too, right? You went to Barbados or where?
Uh, well, I was on vacation in Cuba, Dominican, Punta Cana was the last one, but I just got back from Germany as well.
Oh, cool. You want to make an announcement about which you told me in the email about your plans in the future? Have you ready to put your paperwork in or what?
Yeah, so as far as work goes, I've already kind of made that decision. I'm going to be retiring in February of 2024. So I'm
Wait,
on
how
a
old are
one.
you? How old are you now?
Me, 56.
Okay, so you still got 4 years left. So what made you decide to put it in early?
Well, it's actually not early. Our regular retirement is after 30 years. So
Okay.
I've already got 6 years over that. So I've been hanging on probably longer than I should.
Oh, okay. But could you stay longer if you wanted to? Like,
I could, yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, I wouldn't have been opposed to staying longer. Unfortunately, the service couldn't sponsor me any further going to police college. So I decided that I would retire.
oh, you didn't want to be able to go back and just be a cop for New York or North York or North Bay?
North Bay? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not at this point. I'm quite satisfied with that. So
You've basically done everything. So if you're gonna retire soon, any plans? What do you want to do besides traveling?
yeah, no, probably travel a bit more as much as we can, Sue and I, and then been talking with the college, and I may go back and still help them with some of the training and do some contract work there. And
Was a
uh,
civilian? That's nice. Yeah.
yes, yeah, exactly.
What about your volunteer work? You continue on with the some of the organizations you're involved with?
Well, I'm still involved with some of the like critical incident stress organizations, the EFAP and the employee assistance, all that sort of stuff. Um, I might try and get involved with a few more things or reconnect with a few things I've been with before that I haven't had time with due to work and things like that. So, yeah, probably beef that up a bit. And I've toyed around with the idea of going back and starting to coach again.
Okay, and I'm gonna put down a spy. You're engaged to Sue before this COVID, right?
Yep.
So have you set a date yet or what?
No dates yet. It'll be coming up. We both want to kind of get done with work and stuff like that. And then we'll probably plan our little destination wedding
Oh
and do
yeah,
that.
is she retired now, Sue?
Not yet, but she's looking at retiring too in the new year.
Okay, and can I say what she does for a living?
Yeah,
So she works for Children's Aid Society,
that's correct.
right? And she's been there for what, 20, 25 years?
Yeah, yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, she's pretty interesting story she's told me through the year or when I first met her. So that's good.
Oh
So
yeah.
you both gonna retire and then you're gonna get married. But you just said you're thinking of moving overseas. You like Cuba, right? You like the Dominican Republic? You've been there a few times.
Yeah. We're not. I don't think we'll be moving anywhere. We've talked about buying places and stuff like that, but I think that right now we've kind of decided we want to see more things as opposed to go back to the same place every year. So we're gonna travel around, see a few different things, and enjoy that part of life.
Well, you've seen quite a bit of the world yourself, going overseas and all that, right?
Yeah, a few places. Like I said, been to Germany a couple of times. Really enjoy Europe and stuff like that. And we both want to go and kind of explore that side of things. Very impressed with the European culture and that sort of thing. Plus the country, like you can, travel for 8 hours and see four different countries.
I know it's like, I remember I used to bike there. I say
Yeah,
I phone my family. I'm going over to Switzerland. I'll be in a couple hours. I'll give you a call there because they're thinking it's like Canada's all far apart. But people be surprised. Like I said, it's all close knit, right? you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So,
you jump on a train in 8 hours, you can go through 3 different countries.
oh my gosh. And then Sue's daughter just graduated, didn't she? Recently?
She's in her last year. She did the social services program, did that 4 years, and she's finishing up her teaching degree.
Oh, good. She wants to be a teacher?
Yep, she's
Oh,
gonna be a
good.
teacher.
Any particular type or whatever, or what?
I think she likes the primary grades.
Yeah.
So I think she's going to focus on that going forward. So
Cool. So did you ever go to the reunion in your I forgot, what's the name of your reserve unit in North Bay?
I was originally attached with 26 Service Battalion. Then when I went to school, it was part of 22 Service Battalion in London. And then when I came back, I joined the 26 MPs, and I was with them for a little bit.
So you've been into this with the police for so many years. You must have seen all the gradual changes, besides technology,
Oh,
just the
absolutely.
yeah.
There's been a
So
lot of changes in policing.
I was gonna say, if you can go back, anything particular field you want to go in directly into, that you didn't go into, what would you pick?
Within policing,
Yeah, when the police, yeah.
the one that I've enjoyed and was my passion was the tactical unit.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen your pictures and all that. Your
Yeah.
gun code, yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
cool.
that was my heart and soul.
Oh yeah.
Really enjoyed that. Well, I started the unit with another officer and ran that unit for 27 years.
Wow.
So a lot of great people I worked with and a lot of fantastic officers. Some good experiences, some not so good experiences, but overall I loved it.
Cool. So I mean, you say you knew graduates coming to work with you. What kind of advice would you give them with all your experience? What should you see to be
Uh,
careful of, or what to look out for?
yeah, you know what? In relation to a lot of the policing officers coming into the field now, probably the best advice is, self care and health and wellness is the biggest part of policing. We're losing so many officers now to PTSD and mental health issues and stress related injuries. They need to focus on that and they need to put a lot of emphasis on maintaining that health. And if you start that day one, then at the end of 30 years, you'll be able to go into a healthy retirement. It's a challenge. And I think working together with the people that you work with, in the past, when I came up through, you didn't talk about it, right? You sucked it up and you moved on. But in today's day and age, they need to talk about it, need to have those conversations. And early help, early prevention leads to a healthy life.
You have a duck?
No, this is my phone.
Then I would be interviewing two people. And funny you touched on that back then, like you said, back then there was no support programs. Like when I was in the military and seeing like PTSD and all kinds of stuff. Now they have program support like police, military, firefighters. It's getting better, but like you said, we had to suck it up. And you've seen things and I've seen things we can't even talk about. People don't even realize the reality out there. But it's nice to have these programs started with support programs, especially with the police and the military. But like I said, back then you just had to suck it up and you just had to like deal with it, right? But now you've seen yourself, right? The difference between back then and now. Not the Has people come to you yourself with your, because of your nature and your stamina for advice and looking at you for
Yeah.
kind of like a mentor.
Oh, absolutely. I've had quite a few officers come and talk to me, and I think my personality is such that it's fairly open for people to come. Um, I have pretty good connection with a lot of officers there, and being a supervisor, had a lot of really good conversations with not just the younger officers, but even some of the senior officers and everything in between in relation to challenges, promotions, career path, frustrations, and stuff like that. So always put myself out there to try and help and be available. And I think it's been well received. I think people have been, I think, maybe successful as a result of some conversations. But I think the biggest thing is like it's that understanding. We used to kind of have that bar, that threshold. Well, oh, if you haven't seen this or you haven't seen this, then there's no way you could be affected. But now we recognize that everything affects people differently.
Yeah.
And I could see something or go into a situation and have no problem with it. Somebody else could come into the exact same situation and it completely knocks them on their butt. right? And same thing, I could go into a situation that somebody else may not have an issue with. And recognizing that within people and saying that not everybody's the same and everyone's allowed to have their feelings and their concerns and their stresses, but manage it, right? Not just sit back and let it, injure you further.
Yeah, yeah, because now you can, there's no shame of talking about how you feel, or so I think it's what an ego, with the way you and we were raised, not by our father, but other people. They, you're a man, suck it up, don't show weakness, and that's the biggest thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
I got a
Yeah.
buddy, he's in the firefighters, and he went through PTSD because his dad, nothing against his dad, but his dad taught him to suck it up, don't cry, men don't cry, and men don't show weakness and all. And he carried that on to his own sons, and we can see it. Now he's communicating with his sons, like you're saying, communication, and now their sons are really like, they don't have to be like that. Like they're, and
And it's finding that happy medium too, because, you know, we just can't allow society to, step up and say, oh, that's too hard,
yeah,
right? Our parents and things like that that said suck it up and that, which is not necessarily bad advice, but you've got to taper it with it's okay to express your feelings too. I think what's lacking in a lot of people in our society is resilience and not being able to cope with things. Whereas, like I say, we were told to suck up, so we learned how to cope. But we've got to have that other side where it's when you can't, it's okay to get help, and it's okay to be hurt or to cry or feel
yeah,
emotion,
that's
and
nothing
it's
wrong.
having that balance on both sides.
Yeah. I don't know what talk about your son. I've seen your relationship with your two sons. Your great father, your two boys there, two grown men, see boys, you
Yeah,
know.
I still view them as boys.
Good looking guy, young guys. I see the picture. One looks just like you, the one in Edmonton, right?
Josh, yeah.
Josh, yeah, he looks like, yeah, yeah. And your two brothers also have kids too, as well, right?
Yep. One just got married. So my brother Rob, he's in Edmonton. He's got Haley and Mason. Haley just got married there a couple weeks ago, and she married a fireman from that area. So they're doing really, really well. And same with Mason. He's graduated university and that, and he's doing well too.
Hey, do you ever check into the? I looked into the background. Remember we were talking about uh, your son's girlfriend back then, and her last name is Stoyles. Remember we were talking
Yeah,
about?
Julia Doyle's, yes.
So I looked into that. So apparently, so my cousin-in-law, Lindsay Aldrich, married Linda Stoyles from Newfoundland. It was a big family, right? Stoyles is a big
Yep,
family. So anyway, I
big
looked
fan.
into it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So because I looked at her Facebook's got her picture on there, right? That's how I started checking it out. So she actually is related. That's her. I think it's her cousin, or not her niece. I think it's her cousin, Linda.
Oh,
So your son's girlfriend is the cousin to my cousin-in-law. I mean,
oh, interesting.
yeah, small world. I know. When I saw her picture and I said Stoyles. I said, where do they know the name from? And then yeah, my cousin-in-law, my mom's side, and one of the boys are married a Newfoundlander there. Yeah, big, big, big family. Yeah, yeah. So, and I saw
Big
her.
country, small
Yeah, and
world.
Linda's mother. She came to visit us from Newfoundland. We had a picture, and her picture was on your son's girlfriend's Facebook there. So I do
It's
definitely, yeah, it's definitely her. You can't miss her.
crazy. Eh?
Her mother is. You can tell her right there. Yeah, that's so cool. That's great. So I was gonna ask you, what kind of advice would you give your future? I was gonna ask you, when your grandkids get older, got 2 minutes left. What would you like to tell them as for advice as a grandfather? When they see all the stuff you've done, I know they got your books and your pictures and all. When they see what grandpa's done all these years, sir, they were forces, been overseas, all the stuff he's done. What do you hope to see them come to you and say? What's the first thing you want to see?
Biggest thing I like to say to young people, and especially with the young officers, the advantages I've had weren't given to me. I went out and got them.
Yeah,
Like going to Afghanistan and being part of the International Police Association, which has allowed me to travel to places like Germany and things like that for policing conferences. Don't sit back. If you want something, find a way, make it happen. And it's a big world, right? We sometimes get very trapped into our small little worlds, whether it be North Bay or Toronto or London or whatever. And that's all we know. That's where we stay. That's our comfort zone. But go see the rest of the world. There's so much. I've only seen a minute part of it.
yeah.
I that bug, I want to see the whole world
I like
and
the
see
comfort
the
zone. Yeah, the
cultures and
comfort
different
zone. Yeah,
places, and how different people live, and and that sort of thing. It's just incredible. There's so much out there. Don't limit yourself.
No,
Don't,
don't get in your routine. Like I know people that I know like three guys. I can know exactly what to do tomorrow, the next three, because I know the routine for the last 20 years. That and they're okay with that. They're comfortable with that. That's the way they are. But like you said, you want to be like that, that's fine. But you want to adventure, you want to challenge, you get out there and just challenge yourself. So I
yeah.
got one minute left. So anything you want to add? Are you writing a book, by the way?
Am I what?
You gonna write a book?
Write a book? You know what? I thought about it at times, but
Really? Oh, cool.
probably
Okay.
not. But probably
I'm
not.
plugging your book now. I got 1 minute left before I get cut off here. So I just want to, anything you want to add? Just want to say thank you much, my buddy, Mike Hunter. It's been a pleasure knowing you still, and meeting your family, great
Likewise.
family. Yeah, yeah. We'll do another interview, when you have more time. I know you got to go with Sue there. Say hi to Sue for me, okay? And
You got it. I
thanks for
will.
coming on. I'll send you a copy to my Google, and you can just do whatever you want with it, promote or whatever. And so thanks. I really appreciate you coming on the show. I tried to get you in the last few months. You're hard to get. But now you're retired, so I can get you now faster. That's good.
Soon to be retired. Yeah.
I know. Oh yeah, two too. All right. So anyways, have a good weekend, and I'll send you a copy. And thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Phil. Nice seeing you again.
Nice seeing you. Yeah, nice seeing you. Hey, look good.
You